Hey everyone, Derpy here, and we are live with the Retribution raid warm-up stream. I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and we're going to jump right into it, look at some of the different prizes, some of the targets, and welcome to everyone in chat, and let's go ahead and get started. Looks like I might be having a couple minor buffer issues, but hopefully those get sorted out by themselves. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I can hear myself during my sound check, and we're going to go ahead and get started. If you're watching this back later than I'm streaming it on a video, you can go ahead and jump around to whatever spot you want, and just keep in mind that I'm going to hit the targets in sort of reverse order. The lower level targets haven't changed at all since last raid, so I'm going to go ahead and just show you the top level ones. This is the second raid. This is the sort of whole store raid in the siege cycle. Punishers are the best fleet to use, and luckily for you, I've got a fleet of those built up pretty well. I've not seen these targets yet at all. To my knowledge, no one has. And I'm going to load up a fleet, load up a crew. Let's see. My Punisher fleet is a... I showed my build, and it's a pretty standard build. I'm running with 4 ships on the backline designed to deal lots of damage, with 1 ship in the front designed to be a tank with Agility System 4, which is pretty standard. I prefer to drive everything stacked, but that's not an option with how these targets are. Once these crews are loaded up, I'm going to be able to get started. I have been having some significantly longer loading times in after recent updates, but that should be worked out pretty well. I have going to go ahead and put on the Creeping Death crew, which will add 19% building damage, and these are siege targets, so building damage is going to be great. And we're going to go find ourselves a 104. Let's see if the targets have hit the map yet, and hopefully everything's not too overpowered already. There are some lower level targets out here. Looks like some map targets are out too. I am an alpha, and good luck sniping my fleet. Well, not really. Okay. You guys just stare at the wonderful map loading. Why are these short targets still out on the map? They really shouldn't be out there yet. Okay, here we go. A 905 is spawning. 804 is spawning. Let's see if we can actually find one of the targets that I would like. I would prefer not to have to refresh. Okay, I'm going to go all the way over here for 104, looks like, and hope that I can find that. If anyone else has hit the targets and wants to let me know what happened, you're more than welcome to. Let's see. No surprises here. Ballistic, radioactive, and Punisher Mark II fleet with flag recommended. I do have a full Dock 16 Outpost 12, so I'm using probably the best fleet that we can, except don't have everything fully upgraded. I have an average of a U3 upgrade across my fleet, which some people had for the first raid. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Going to park in the corner, wait for everything to load. Okay. It is taking a little while. I don't know quite why, but it's an issue with Flash, HTML5, both of them. I'm playing on the most stable one I can, which actually for me is HTML5. Okay. Looks like nothing too particularly tricky. These are not shooting at me yet, luckily. I'm probably going to go around the outside and kill a bunch of things on the outside of these targets before I go inside. That seems to be the best option, so I reduce my damage sort of that way. Let's just try it, and I'll try to have a tank and to outrange things. Okay, first of all, not too bad. The issue with driving with a tank is you can't get too close to these turrets here, otherwise you suffer a little bit. And okay, here we go. I do have the throwers on my fleet in the heavy thrower spot, which does help out a little bit, it looks like, but it's not going to be the end-all be-all between having a successful raid or not. At least I hope not. Hey Luciano, welcome. I want to try and have my flag closest to these ballistic turrets, which is the important bit to make sure those get targeted. And then my back four ships will pretty much always get targeted by the longer range version of these radioactive coaxial turrets. I pressed S here to put them on auto. I think that might be able to just barely reach that last one. Looks like that was good enough. And I didn't kill that last turret. That's a bit disappointing. Okay, it's not wanting to reach it that well. You shot at it before, you can shoot at it again. Come on, there we go. That last one looks like it's pretty tricky to hit the range of. And there's no way you're sniping these inside buildings from there. I don't know, Red Angel. Some people are doing better with 3 Punishers than I was with 5 last time. And thanks, Marcus. You as well. Let's see here. I'm gonna go for this longer range one. Split my flag off. There we go. And once the ballistic turret is taken down, you can sort of just do everything else on still stacked, because these coaxial turrets tend to target. And we have Jeff in the house. Jeff, when does your raid start? Okay, we have mines in these targets. I don't recall for sure if these mines actually do a lot of damage. In the previous and last raid, the auto target, the mines dealt no damage. I'm guessing that's how it is this time, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, what you saw there is, again, I'm using the flagship to tank that first turret and hoping that that helps. Where do I want to go next? I'm probably going to loop around the bottom. I prefer to not get too close to these coaxial turrets, but to use the tanking method, I sort of have to. And as far as representation of damage taken, it looks like I've actually taken about the same damage on the entire fleet. The flag does have higher survival and evade numbers than everything else, so the flag's probably taken more fire, but it's probably received about the same damage, if that makes sense. Initial observations in this target seem to indicate that if I drove stacked, it wouldn't be horrible. Even if auto wouldn't be horrible, we might have to test those out later. Hey, IC and Andy, welcome. And if anyone's wondering what this field is in front of my ships here, that is the X1 that's the X1 upgrade. That's a built-in weapon. I think it reduces some of the enemy turret effectiveness. That's a great strategy. If you can't do this raid with your Punishers for whatever reason, the Kixeye rights that they gave you should be able to do the lower level targets. At least the A set rather. The 88, 89, and 809, which I'll try and have a look at later. Okay, I'm going to try and get this, move my flag out in front again so it takes the fire, and move everything off to the left. Great, I avoided damage on that Dracoax turret, mostly. And then I'm going to loop the flag around again so it's still in front, and the evade is effective, and the splash damage is only going on one ship. Okay, and these last two turrets should be pretty easy. I need that closer. If it's close enough, the Band of Brothers aura works, and you can stack with that. So you need to make sure you're tanking not too far out. Initial target here, it doesn't look too bad. Let's see how I'm doing. Andy, I only have 2 of the X1 weapons, and this is my first time driving with them, so I'm not quite sure yet. It's harder to use the X1 weapons if you're trying to drive parallel to everything else, and with one ship as a tank, and not going in the range of the smaller radioactive turret. Okay, battle report. Let's see. Damage, very little ballistic damage is taken. Some of it was evaded, so good to know evade still works. They haven't changed our damage schematic up on that much. And a lot more radioactive damage compared to ballistic damage. About 2/3 of the damage I took was radioactive, 1/3 was ballistic, maybe even 3/4 to 1/4. Let's see. Damage I took, 27 minutes. You know, that looks like it's really, really close to instant repair for me. This is looking like a target that's actually tuned reasonably, if not, and I dare to say this, too much in our favor. So it looks like it's tuned really well in terms of damage I'm taking. Keep in mind, I do have an average upgraded U3 fleet with one of the best builds out there, I would think. So let's see what we took there. And I'm going to try and zoom out and take some screenshots of the target and also repair my hull too. So I was using a creeping jet crew. Let's see, I'm going to try and do something after each of these targets with my thoughts on them. That target wasn't too difficult to drive. It made sense. It made sense. It was reasonable damage, if not too little damage. I didn't say that. Don't tell Kixeye for the point payout for my fleet. Other people's may vary. I think this target is you're not going to have a one particularly optimal path. There might be one that's closer or a little bit better than others, but it actually seems like an okay target. I think I like it. There's nothing too tricky about it. The driving style is still a little bit annoying. I might try one auto or stacked or just my one flag to see what happens, but I like that target off first sight there. Okay, looks like my back 4 might all be instant repair. Maybe just one ship that's not. I know this isn't very exciting, watching me instant repair my fleet, but I will hit the other targets, don't you worry. Okay, I'm going to grab my Dragoons and go out and take a peek at that target so I can grab a screenshot of it. And I'm going to do a zoomed out one too so that I can see the whole target rather. And that's in the 104, and this target's the auto target. Kevin, I agree. The X1 only fires forward, which is a little bit disappointing because of the way I like to drive. Thank you, Lady Cat. I think it was a pretty good driving job too. Although we'll see how other people are doing. I may be doing better than I am. And let's see, come on. I'm having issues with clicking where my ships want to move in HTML5. But it seems like this target is tuned decently. Okay, I'll be back in just 1 second with the next target and my fleet. I may end up just coining it so I don't have to just repair that, spend 5 minutes repairing things on auto. But we will get back to exciting things momentarily, I promise. I know there's no screen broadcast. I'm grabbing a screenshot of a target with my Dragoons. So it's nothing, you're not missing anything sighting, I promise. Okay. The screen's coming back in a second. It's the game's taking it a little bit slow. Okay, you should be able to see that now. Let's see. And I'm going to speed up my Punisher fleet. And we're going to go and try and hit the next target. I was using a Creeping Death Crew. Others that may be helpful is Sea Serpents for evade. Also things such as anything that adds building damage or favors draconian holes is helpful. Let's find my holes. I'm not going to bother preparing these over. I am wasting some time there, or some coin. So I'm trying to get things moving along for you here. And let's find a 106. Someone's already at 51 million on the leaderboard. Well, I'm not surprised per se, but there is a blitz option. But if I can do this thing for 27 minutes damage, I don't know why you would blitz it. Okay. This is the level 106. I'm going to do the same thing where I stop and look around. Okay, we have a little bit of loading issues in HTML5. I'm not sure where the land actually comes out to. Probably the same as the other side mirrored there. This target does have some of these radioactive launchers in it, I believe, or it should. I can't find any. I don't see any radioactive launchers in this entire target. Oh, there's one in the very middle there. Anyone else see one that I'm missing? Yeah, there's another on the side. So it looks like there's 2 radioactive launchers in this target. Maybe, yep, third one up there. Nothing too bad. I can't go in over the top. I can't snipe anything from the outside. I'm just going to have to go through the gate. And the mines, almost 90% sure, almost 100% sure, do deal damage in these targets. So I'm going to have to be careful about that. Let's stack the fleet up and get my little screens out here. Okay, targeting the Dracoaxial turret. Once that's dead, I can move freely and move a little bit closer. I'm killing things in pretty close to one shot, one volley from my ships if they're all shooting at the same thing. So those gates are dead. That looked pretty good. Okay. Okay, here's the tricky part. Things are shooting at me. I just ran over off in the corner. I made okay with that one. The radioactive turret was. There we go, it's firing again. And I may have taken some damage on that back ship there. Not sure how much. But you can't even shoot this one from this side. Mines are coming in, so I'm going out. Not the most skillful approach so far here. Oh, there's a lot of mines down here. Yeah, it's this is a pretty tricky to drive target, and I'm not zoomed out, so I'm missing some things there. Look at all these mines. There's a blockade going on. I'm looping around the top of the target thinking that there's less things here, less things to worry about, so it'll be easier to kill this thing. And when I do have a choice, I'm targeting the coaxial turrets, because those are the ones that prevent me from driving and moving into a close range. Okay, that's not that bad. These mines are all moving up straight at here. When I killed this big outpost building here, all these mines in the middle went straight up. So you definitely have to go up first and get that triggered. Again, shift clicking the coaxial turret. And once that's dead, I'll shift click the next one. And my ships are strong enough, I can kill them just by moving around once. We do have 2 more throwers focusing me, which is not ideal. But I'll loop around to the top again. We have a bunch more mines coming in down through this side here, which I'm avoiding with my path. And another couple throwers. Screen froze up a second there, but those throwers should be down. Okay, looks like this arc is going to converge inward the second I kill this big building, so I have to be ready for that. Wish they would show us which way they're going to go, but they don't. I ran over one mine. I'm getting stuck in this, getting stuck down there. Okay, yep, all these mines converge into the middle here. Notice that these 2 are moving slower right here. That's because of the aura that my flagship has. It slows down enemy mines because it's at X1, which should make navigating things like that a lot easier to deal with. Although if you don't have X1, again, you're going to suffer because those things closed in pretty quickly. Okay. This was not the best driving. My first attempt. It will get better. But let's look at the battle report damage, and then I'll give you my thoughts on this target in context. Okay, much more ballistic damage this time. Not quite sure why. Maybe because I rushed in or I drove stack too much. 49 minutes damage. Okay. That's yeah, that's twice as much as the other one, twice as bad. I think this target is harder than the last one, much more difficult to drive correctly. It seems more like the 500 target last raid, or it was the 901, 902, 904 target last raid. It was the higher level top tier one. It seems more in line with that than the other one. It's pretty difficult. I think this one, I don't like the style of driving. I prefer to do this for, I think I can probably get this down to close-ish to 1 coin of repair if you're someone who's going to coin it, or half an hour of repair. So it's a lot harder for me. And both of these targets, the 104 and the 106, pay out 250,000 points with a 1 million. They pay out 250,000 points each with a 500,000 set bonus, so 1 million for killing 2 targets. And you can see it here after it loads. 500,000 set bonus for the 104 and 106. Let's repair, and I can hit the top target. Then I have a couple other things, a tricky thing I'm going to try that might help reduce your repair time using fewer ships. I'm going to see if those work. But now it's time for the, I'm attacking a very challenging enemy. This is a co-op target. So that might be kind of fun, hitting this as a co-op target. And if you complete, I think, 10 or 20 of these, you do get a special badge, so that's something to look forward to. And this will pay out 1 million points with no set bonus for only this target, but there is a small 250,000 set bonus for completing all 3. So you get 1.2 million for this if you did everything else. Okay. Oh, this is pretty big. It looks symmetrical. So going right or left shouldn't matter too much now, should it? CM Gillies, quote, strategy guide, unquote, did say you'd have to make sure to pick the right path. So, not quite sure what that means, but let's do a little bit of planning. Let's go along the inner ring here. Maybe kill this turret if we can. Shoot the gate, but don't enter. Go all the way around, loop around. Looks like we'll target the coaxial turrets. Move through the bottom. Then I can enter again through here, looping all the way around everything so I don't run into any mines. Probably go around the back end. We'll see if these mines are gone by the time I'm there, because that will help for sure. Maybe I'll have to go out, then go back in, but we'll have to see. It sort of depends on where these mines trigger to. And I said I was going to the left side first. You're going to want to keep moving, is what I've been told in this target. I'm going to try and do my tank method, but with my tank very close to my back 4 ships, so that I can, I don't take any extra damage from the radioactive big flamethrowers, because those are kind of painful. And already I'm not stacked up anymore. Yeah, a lot of big radioactive things flying across the screen. So if we can kill those, I might have to run over the mines, which I do not want to do. So I can't access this one easily. Wonder what those trigger on. Looks like I'm going through this smaller entrance here now. I want to go in through the outside and go towards the outside of the target, so I have less things shooting at me at one time. These tornado towers right here are actually, they drop biofuel zones, which will increase your reload time and your damage and your defense and stuff like that. So if you are able to stop and be in those for a little while, that might be beneficial. Okay, looks like this building right here, when I kill that. Good, these mines move out of my way. So now I can go through the left side of the channel here. So it looks like my path is correct. Okay, here we go. Kill some things, don't stop moving. That wasn't so bad. Let's loop back around. Yeah, you can see I'm taking a lot of damage on my back 4 ships because I'm being forced to drive stacked because the driving's so intricate here, which I don't want to do. Come on, I'm clicking move. You see that? I was clicking the move. I was clicking over on the right side of the screen and it wasn't responding. That's an issue I've been noticing with the HTML5. That's gonna hit the mine, isn't it? Yeah, that was disappointing. So you should probably come on the left side there, not the right side of this island. We'll have to try this one again. Okay, keep moving, keep moving. Yeah, you can see I'm driving stacked, which I don't want to do, but it's happening. Ooh, I'm too close to a lot of things here. And I'm sure these mines do damage in this target. They wouldn't give us an X target in level 905 that didn't have the mines doing damage. It's not listed anywhere. It should be in the strategy guide that says these mines do damage, but it's at least that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. If everyone else thinks differently, then okay. Try and get my flagship out ahead to save some damage, but not that far out. Not that far out ahead. Well, that was a little bit painful, wasn't it? Warren, you still have an hour and a half before the raid starts. That's why I'm trying to do this, so you can see some things and what not to do before I start. Okay, first thoughts on this target. Pretty difficult target. maybe it should be a co-op target. Maybe I should try it with someone else, but that reduces my damage there. Or reduces my points. Ballistic, a lot of ballistic damage taken. A little bit of radioactive damage taken. I got the set bonus for completing all 3, which is pretty small, and then 1 million points for dealing damage. Right here, that's not reduced. Everything's working well. And how much damage did I take? 2.5 hours. So I would be better off hitting the 100, not repairing, and hitting the 106 than I would be just hitting this, than I would be hitting the 905. That's good to know. So this seems to be pretty difficult because I got 1 million points for the 104 plus the 106, and then I also got that same amount for, I got 1 million points for hitting the 905. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try something kind of sneaky. And if I try this, you have to promise not to tell Kixeye because they might not like it. At least if it works, you're not allowed to tell Kixeye. Okay, I'm going to use a couple ship repair tokens here because we have those now, right? Fleet repair tokens from the Battle Pirates stimulus package. Okay, I'm going to use only my flagship and see how well this works out. I'm going to do this in the 104 on auto with the Creeping Death Crew with an X1 flagship. We're going to see how this goes. This worked okay last raid, but I didn't have my flagship built up fully. I'm really curious to see how it does now. I was telling people it wasn't going to work, but after seeing this target, I feel like it might. Okay, this is hands off. This is on auto. You can see I'm still getting shockwaves, only using 1 fleet, which is really nice. There's some damage on my flag. You can see that when you go on auto, you do get pretty close to these coaxial turrets, close enough for them to shoot their big, their short range damage there. Thanks, Andy. I'll see you around later. Okay, where are you gonna go next? Yeah, if you watch this closely, at this angle, I'm able to outrange the short-range version of the coaxial turret. So coming in from a different angle, the angle depends on... Okay, sorry about that. I should be back now. I was saying the angle depends. If you come in at a different... On auto, you don't always outrange it. You don't always go in range of it. It depends sometimes if you actually take damage going on auto on the particular angle. Jeff, I took 2.5 hours damage on the 905 my first time driving. These 3 things are all shooting at me and they're pretty angry. Okay, it looks like they might have tried to do something, made the targets a little bit harder so you can't do this that well. I'm taking some damage on my flag, but if people happen to have a fully built flag with U2, U3, X1, this might be the way to go. Wish I could speed this up a little bit. And these mines shouldn't be dealing any damage. I don't think they are. Wish they told us for sure. They said that the 104 would follow the event model or follow the damage model of the 100 from last raid and be auto capable, which means it has no radioactive throwers, and it also should mean it doesn't deal any it also should mean the mines don't deal damage, so when you go on auto, you don't run over those and take extra damage. It just slows you down a little bit. Okay, ship, let's turn around here. Great. James, what is that? What's the half-life heavy launcher there? It's a limited weapon. It's the heavy weapon that you can put one of on each of your ships. It's that flamethrower one you're seeing. I'm gonna zoom in next time it gets used. You can't increase its reload time with specials, but it does a lot of damage. It's not the X1 upgrade weapon. Those are different. The X1 upgrade weapon is this big arc here, this 15 or so degree arc out in front of its screen. The Half-Life heavy launcher is that flamethrower thing you're seeing. At least that's my understanding. Kevin, you're saying my health bar only moved when the turrets were shooting at me, not when I ran over the mines? Okay, that's good confirmation of what I'm seeing then. Hey, you can watch this right now. These mines are all going to hit me, and I'm not getting much change from those. I am getting change from the turrets, but when these mines are hitting me, and they are slowed down a lot because of my special ability, but when these mines are hitting me, nothing, it's not changing a lot. Okay, why are you shooting at that building when this guy is right here and he's dealing damage to you? You should focus on him. Rat, is the flamethrower the heavy thrower? Yes, that the flamethrower is the heavy thrower. You should see it work if something, yeah, right there, just shot when I wasn't angled on with my X1 weapon. Where do I get the Half-Life heavy launcher? You get it through pillage. It might be in the raid this time. It was in pillage is where I got mine from. It was definitely in last raid too, but I can't remember if I got it in last raid or in pillage. Okay, we still have some things. Nope, we don't have anything in the bottom. We're off on the right side there, middle, left side, and that should be a pretty standard. And we can try autoing with a couple other ships next. Maybe the magic number of ships to auto with is something like 3. Maybe it's 5. Maybe it's just 1. But I took 27 minutes of damage, which is, with patience, it's instant dock repair, so not really. You have to spend about 2, 3, 4 minutes repairing in your dock, which isn't bad, although with better driving, you can probably get it to instant dock repair. And so this 104 target, it's easy enough, it's tuned down enough that it's possible to do it with just one ship. Now, if you don't have yours up to X1, you will take more damage. If you have it at U0, it should be possible to do, but you will definitely take more damage. James, you're asking about the so there's the Half-Life heavy launcher, not a heavy. So there's the drag heavy thrower and the Half-Life heavy launcher. Those are two different things there, two different weapons. Let me pull up my prize store and I can alleviate some of the confusion on that. The Half-Life heavy launcher should be the one that applies these special effects. That should be the built-in one, and the drag heavy thrower should be that one. The 106, I took 49 minutes damage on it. It was a lot harder than the 104. Okay, 20 minutes damage from one ship. So if you're coining and you're not doing instant repair, you're better off just hitting one ship. Let's show you my, let's go to the raid prizes because I'm sure that the throwers are probably in there. Okay, the drag heavy thrower, or DR4G heavy thrower, that's the flamethrower that you're seeing. The Half-Life heavy launcher is the built-in X1 weapon. And this is available, but I wouldn't get this raid. It doesn't make much sense. Okay, so we have 20 minutes damage with one chip there. So that's your secret trick you can use if you have a flagship built up. Don't tell Kixeye they're going to tune back up, right? Probably not. They probably won't increase the damage that these things are dealing. You're going to get 5? I'm not sure that's your best plan. If you have extra points to burn and you have everything else, sure. But if you already have 5, if that's what you mean, then that's great. We're going to try the... oh, we have not a lot of time before my crew runs out. Okay, I want to go have... oh, you have them now? Okay, there you go. That makes more sense. McFluffiness. Welcome to chat. Okay. I have 59 seconds to find a target. We're going to try the 905 again. And hope it's not horrible. And I'm still just doing this one solo. It does still pay out 1,000,000 points. If you had someone else in it, you wouldn't get 1,000,000 points, although you should both get the set bonus, which is a pretty small set bonus. So I should have someone else sitting in the corner here not moving, and they should get completion credit if they're able to do, or someone else is prepping 104s, 106s for them. But it's such a small set bonus, I'm not sure that it's really worth it to wait and hit it until you have someone else in your corner. Especially if they're not able to do the 104 and 106 by themselves. Maybe I should be using waypoints for this target, at least to keep the spacing the same. There we go. If you use waypoints in this thing, you can keep a constant spacing. I didn't quite kill everything around the perimeter, so let's go back and do that again. If you do hit a speed boost thing in these torpedo towers, you will be able to go faster. Don't stop moving. I didn't tell you to stop moving. Now, the hints we've had is to pick the right path, so let's hope that I can pick a decent path here. Okay. Again, one ship out in front trying to tank. And these mines are now free, but they shouldn't affect me. I'm going to go on the inside this time instead of the outside, which I did last time. I'll try and take better advantage of these torpedo towers, or biofuel zones. They still look like torpedo towers, so I'm calling them. Oh. Gotta keep moving. This target's way too big to do with only waypoints. Oh, that maneuver cost us a little bit of damage. It shot at me and I tried to turn around too quickly, I guess. I didn't want to run through this mine. I was going to wait for it to explode. There was a set completion bonus for the 104 plus the 106 plus the 905 target. Yes, it's 250,000 points. There is no set bonus completion for the for only having the 905. You have to hit all 3 to get a set bonus from that, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay, I wanted to kill that little coaxial thrower there, but I wasn't able to. But I killed the big thrower at the top, so that should allow me a little bit more flexibility. I'm doing a lot better in this target, maybe because I'm not talking as much. Yes, you get 500,000 for the 104 plus the 106, and there's a set bonus 250,000 for the 104 plus 106 plus 905. Okay. That went better, I think. Quarter of the fleet dead instead. Damage about even, ballistic radioactive. That's nice to see. One hour, 16 minutes for 1 million points. That's probably a little bit better than just doing the 104 and the 106 without repairing now. Maybe that can come down a little bit further too. I'm going to try the 106 one last time. And then I'm going to call it. I'm going to peek the A sets too while I'm waiting, just to make sure they are still the same as I thought they were. Because if they're the same targets, then there's no reason hitting them. Although if they're different, then there is a reason to hit them. They should be the same as last raid. Just start a repair pretty quick. You can see my crew ran out. Maybe I should put on a Grease Monkey crew so everyone thinks I'm twice as good as I really am. Okay, let's peek in 88. Just make sure it's the same one. If it's a different one, then I'll hit it. But no reason showing you something that was in last raid that I did in my stream last raid too. Oh, this one is different. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and hit this then. The riot targets. This was the one that you can auto if you really want to. Why am I using a flag? This is not a tank target. You get to drive stacked in these ones. These should be manageable for instant repair. Come on. Squeak it off. There we go. There we go. I took a little bit too much damage from this one. I'm taking, yeah, too much damage from this. My driving must need some practice here. If you remember, the tip we have here is to try to avoid damage from these red torpedoes. The Hellwraith, Trash Can, Fire Twister torpedoes. They're the tricky bits. Although I took so much, maybe I wonder if I ran into a cloud. But this general path is what you want to do. Try and drive perpendicular to the ships. McFluffiness, you're asking a question about some alliances. Our one is technically a sister alliance to what I have to Phoenix, which I'm in, although I don't get involved in too much of the drama. Hope that doesn't make anyone upset. I haven't heard of DSCS before. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on this target. Like a lot of damage. Like, I'm not sure where did all this explosive damage come from? The Fire Twister torpedoes? Why did I take an hour and 10 minutes of damage on that one target? I'm using my riots, not Kixeye's bad ones. I'm using or Kixeye's decent ones. I'm using my good ones. What's all this damage coming from? I'm not using a crew. Yeah, I would put on the speed crew if I could. But I shouldn't be taking an hour and 10 minutes of damage from that target. I should be doing a lot better than that. I was doing a lot better than that when these were raid targets. TVO retired. You don't look retired if you're on the map there, my dude. Thank you to Vengeful One for making a star appearance. Let's try the next one. This again is from the last raid cycle. We're getting fewer points for it than we were when it was a top raid target, but that's because riots aren't the... Oh, that was bad. Why did my ships move up there? I clicked down at the bottom of the screen and they went in a little circle. They may have increased the damage for this target. I don't know why they would do that. They shouldn't have. Maybe they did it accidentally and are lowering it. There's no reason to increase the damage on the lower level targets because you're just penalizing lower levels. If damage was increased on this one, maybe I just don't remember how to drive, but if other people are having increased damage on this one too compared to how they were doing it in the previous raid cycle, then I'm upset by that. But again, we only have one data point, which is myself. At least I do. Kixeye has everyone's data and knows exactly how everyone's doing. That target should have been instant repair. If anything, I would expect them to tune it down. I don't want to imagine how much damage you'd get from using their free riot fleet. My build, you mean for my riots or for my my punishers? I'll show you either of them. The payout's not very good for these targets. You get 100,000 for the 88, 100,000 for the 89, and then 150,000 for the 809 targets, with a set bonus that needs all three of them, and that set bonus is a measly 100,000 points. And remember, I was an hour and 10 minutes off the first one. The second one is giving me more damage. It's giving me some damage at least. I didn't click repair between, is what I'm trying to say. Want to overload there. We'll have to do some more testing off live stream hitting those things. What's still in this corner? Oh, a torpedo tower. Still know how to drive this one. I didn't see any major mistakes in here. I didn't get hit by an ice torpedo. I was able to avoid those. It was almost second nature after doing 100 of those in that raid cycle. Okay, a little bit of explosive, a little bit of concussive damage. 40 minutes, 46 minutes of damage on that target. That seems high. Here's my riot build in case anyone is wondering. They're all built the same across all 5 ships, and I have skins on for fun. That's not a very good payout. Let's hit the 804. And yeah, if you were able to do these targets for instant repair, maybe top level players would hit these instead. That's a good thought. I don't think I would, because you'd have to hit 10 targets to have the same payout as one target from the higher levels. Like, you'd have to hit 1088s to have the same payout as a 104 and 106. Or, yeah. Or to have the same payout as one... Oh, this is already damaged. Someone already came in here and killed things. Well, I need to find a fresh target, and I can't retreat. This looks already damaged. Does it not? No? Maybe there's... Why is this telling me it's damaged? It should be fresh. I think it was. Maybe it's because this is the one where the waves come in, so maybe once those in, the health will go up. Maybe there aren't waves that come in now. Regardless, in all these riot targets, if you don't kill the entire thing, if you don't kill the entire target in time, more enemies will come in at you. Like if after 2 minutes or after 3 minutes, and then every couple minutes thereafter, enemy ships will spawn in on the right and the left and will charge at you. Yeah, you can see right here, they're coming in. And those ones, to get the full amount of points for this target, you need to kill them. But if you want the full points, which is 150,000, you have to kill those. But otherwise, you can just ignore them. And I don't think it's worth getting the full points from this thing. Because it's so few. I would rather just get the set completion bonus. Yeah, these things are coming at me. They're driving. They went through their mines. That's fine. I don't think anyone actually attacked this target before I did. Because everything was still in there at full health. Like all these ships with the auras above them, which are the ones you need to kill, those were all still there. Like all of them, the 3 Helvers at the top, or the 4 at the top, and then the Reaver, Hulk, the Pancake in the middle, those were all still there at full health. So the battle should have been over. Yeah, it said I killed everything. That was a full health target. Not sure what's going on there. And once again, these ships don't have to kill to end the battle. They didn't have the little yellow thing above their heads. Okay, show me how many points I got, please. I think my game might crash. The health bar was showing up like only a quarter there, but all the ships were still in the target, which is why I was confused. Yeah, you can see here it's I actually don't know how many points I got for that target because I had to leave like that, so it definitely was not the full 150,000 points. Well, there's that target there. That's the entire A set, which was different than last raid. I showed you the level 100 target, which was actually a pretty good one. It was a 104 target, which I was very happy with. And I also showed you it, and you can't tell Kixeye, with only 1 ship as a flag. That took 20 minutes damage, as opposed to driving 5, which took 27 minutes, although the 5 were pretty close to instant repair. Level 106 was a bit harder. I showed you just 5 ships with that. I only tried it once, and that was 49 minutes of repair. I didn't like the target that much. It seemed a little bit too hard. Level 905 target, hit once for 2.5 hours damage, and didn't like it that much. Tried it again, and I was able to get it down to 1 hour and 19 minutes, which I think is reasonable, very reasonable for this target. And then you can see that you get a set bonus for the 106 plus 104 of this amount, and 1 million total for hitting those 2 targets. And if you hit there's another set bonus, which is a very small amount, 250,000 points, but you have to hit three different things. So if you hit 3 targets, if you hit the 104, the 106, then the 905, you get 2 million, plus 2,250,000 points. I'll also show you the riot target, which we saw before, and I'm concerned that the damage was tuned up in the 88. Or maybe I'm just really bad at driving, one of those two. So I hope this did help. I will, and the 85 or 804 was showing as damaged, I agree, Johan. It was showing as 85% damaged, but all the regular ships were in the target that I expected. I think it's an unintended bug because ships come in waves, so I'm just not quite sure why that happened. But the one I hit was at full health to start out with. Even all the ships were there, even if it said it wasn't. The damage line was there. So I hope this stream did help. I will be uploading more videos on zealots and the rest of the raid targets. I should get one out for each of these 3 top ones. Should be getting the zealot pretty soon myself, so I can build that and just build 4 blank ones for now with 1 thud 1 on them, and that will get you started. And then you're going to want to get the scattergun. The limited one is about 20% better in terms of damage than the regular one. Full focus choke, you're going to want to get. Twin Fang Feeder is a limited special. You want to get that too. But the number one thing everyone should try and get this raid right here is the Zealot and build 4 of them blank holes. I hope this video did help. If it did, leave a like on the video. There's still like 47 of you watching. We got up to like 80 plus at some point, so that was great. And yeah, I will stick around for chat a little bit after this, and I will be having more videos on my channel, so make sure there's a little subscribe button. You click that, and that will, you also, if you have any questions on things, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer. But thank you, and as always, this is Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.